Hi, it's Ileana. So I've been doing remote viewing projects recently through an advanced CRV course that I've taken, where we're learning how to be taskers, how to assign tasking targets to other remote viewers through the visual field of seeing something. But as remote viewers, we're also participating in that process as well. So the June 12th remote viewings, part 1 and 2, the assignment was this. Our teacher assigned us, so the numbers, the teacher assigned us the remote viewing target IDs, which could be a combination of letters and numbers. That was put near our computer station, and we were to visually model what we see as the remote viewing signal, the incoming signal, whatever the tasker, which is our teacher, whatever the tasker assigned as the remote viewing target, we were to render that and model that in a software called Blender. We didn't have internet access or anything on the computer stations, just connecting to the visual signal, because in the Stargate program, in the CIA remote viewing program, how advanced remote viewing was done is that the person doing the remote viewing was given a piece of clay and they were to model what was on the card for the target IDs. Literally, whatever visually came as a field of information from the target data, they were to model that in clay as the visual representation. They didn't really have paper, pen to draw the idioms, to draw out anything from the target or write anything out. They were to sculpt it in clay, and that would be the end results of what they got from the targets. So in our project, we were doing sculpting, modeling, and rendering in a software program called Blender that does that in a digital capacity, and whatever images we get for that. And the target turned out to be the Black Operations Group, Black site facilities, and what they're doing in those facilities, underground and on the surface. And what the baseline images that I sculpted, modeled, and rendered were, again, these rectangular, square-shaped, the base structures, the black site structures, were square-shaped, rectangular military bases with a pyramid or pyramids attached to them as producing 0-point energy power generators. Consistently the same stuff that I've seen in other remote viewings that I've done of this project assigned to me by a different tasker. And then, these are underground base locations, consistently underground bases on Earth, experimenting with producing free energy not to be connected to the surface power grids. The other thing that came up was surface level structures, these large platforms on the surface of this arid location where there's sand, there's rock, it's hot, it's warm, it is dusty, it is arid. It feels arid, like the desert in western parts of the US, places like Utah, Arizona, somewhere outside of Colorado, Las Vegas, places like those ones that have remote locations where these black sites are built underground, and surface structures included platforms, huge platform stations that had blue beams coming out of them on the surface level of these structures. These blue beams going into the sky, perhaps laser beams, maybe shooting at something or tracking something, tracking other structures that are in the sky that are invisible, cloaked ships perhaps. And then there are energy frequencies of circles opening up in the environment around these platforms. Laser arrays, whatever they are, EMP, scalar weapons perhaps. Perhaps they're platforms that are tracking and shooting down UFOs. That's what it looks like in the target. That is what my sense is that this could possibly be. And then portal openings or some kind of an energy disturbance in the atmosphere, in the environment, perhaps of ships trying to come in or actually leave, cloaked ships. And these platforms are target sensors trying to locate those ships and possibly shoot them down, UFO crafts. That is what I was seeing on the surface. And it is tall platform structures, semicircular, round. Some of them are more round. They look like lasers with blue beams coming out of them, targeting something or trying to figure out where the targets are in the spatial coordinates in Earth orbit, above Earth orbit, and try to bring down these targets. Try to figure out their cloaked locations of the cloaking devices on the crafts and bring down the targets, perhaps to reverse engineer crafts. So I was seeing more of the surface level weapons or tracking systems, platforms that these black sites have on the surface of remote areas. And underground is where the bases are, where they do the extraction of the free energy, 0 point experimental devices. So locking systems, locking onto targets, shooting down targets, possibly even missile projects of some type, experimental missiles, experimental bases, underground, surface level structures, tracking something, looking for something, UFO crafts being involved in all of this, portal energy, electromagnetic frequencies, gravitic technology, shoot downs, acquisitions, acquiring something, tracking something, locating something. That is what I got.